Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video we'll be going flat lifting. But before we go, Wilton's is just on his way to lift a lock of scrap from around the place. We have a nice bit of stuff tidied up over the last while and it's time to get rid of it, and two implements in that as well. So one of the bits that's going is this old Lemken harrow here. We bought it second hand and we had it for a long time, till it's the one thing I have in common with Jeremy Clarkson, or one thing anyways. We both run into an ESB pole. I caught an ESB pole with that in 2000, and it must have been 18, because that's when we bought the new one. We bought the new one because I kind of wrote this one off. Caught it on this side with the disc there, and you can see yourself put a bow in it there. And then also I broke the back leg off it, and I kept breaking the welds there, breaking our hearts, so got rid of it. So they're keeping the crumbler off it just to have. And we also scavenged a lot of bits off it as well for the other one to keep it going. I was kind of hoping we'd be taking all the springs, but we only salvaged that much off it, so it's going to get pegged in on top. We also have an old Abbey agitator that the gearbox is gone in it. We took a few bits off it and it's ready to go. So that was out of the workshop, and bits and bobs that were tidied up over the last while.
We took crates of trailers, taking a great clearance to keep place tidy.
Yeah, and stuff out of the house then as well, out of the stove and rubbish like that. So you're ready to go combine it. Right, I'm going to go flat lifting there now. Eric's going bailing, and
how did he get up to the baler?
I think Kim's going to bring him.
Oh, right.
So, and the lads are just ready to start washing again. Still more scrap to go after all if this is said and done. It's also stuff out of the tractor house and out of the crushing house that I cleaned out. So there's a right bit of stuff there. So a lot of small bits too, so it'll be interesting to see how we get on. Tidying it. All sorts of that. There's more scrap gone, and there's definitely another 2 or 3 of them to go. We still have a heap of stuff around the back of the side, the dung pit, and then there's still sheds to be cleaned out that have scrap in them. And they still have to finish cleaning out the tractor house. So we start med on it. I'd love to see the Lemken harrow go, but don't really have time to watch it at all. So, take a good shot seeing it hung out of it, but I got mosey on. We gotta go flat lifting for a customer for reseeding. 7-ish acres in it. Shouldn't take too long. Field is very long, so it's not a lot of runs in it, just long runs. Shouldn't take too long. And no, the 1200s will not be going in that. No. We are here and we have started, so we'll start off this long kind of an hour stretch, and then the field opens up once we get to the top of the hill. So this stretch here, because it sees a lot of traffic with bringing silage in, it's quite tight. The biggest thing for me, you can see I'm well out from the hedge, is I don't want to go pulling up a heap of roots, so I'm just going to kind of drive in the middle, keep out that far from the hedge, and I'll work that way a bit just to kind of give it a bit of time. Well, just to show you what we're looking at behind us, you can see all the tracks there from bringing in the silage, and we're now with slurry and that. You can see yourself there just how that's lifting. The way it's lifting all like kind of in lumpiness of itself. So we're working at our maximum depth there that the machine is currently set to, which is 15 inches. So it will go down as low as 18, but 18 would be... it's never really been set to 18. We always worked at usually around 12. I'm letting her all the way down so we can do a deep rip on it. So we're working at 15 inches there now. You can even see we're pulling a few bits of brand roots in that, and you can see how much we're lifting it by. When you look to the side there, we're lifting the ground, I'd say about 4 inches is what we're lifting it there at the minute. So that should bust up the ground, bust up that hard pan, which is causing awful issues out here with just retaining water and just making it difficult to do anything with. So that's doing a lovely job. You can see it busting it all up there. So we're just at the top of the hill here now. And you can see opens out. We're just going to follow this hedge and we'll keep going up and down that hedge. We'll work way into the hedge a bit where I think I can, where I just don't want to pull up too many roots because I'm going to make a divil of it. But this field, now I have been working this field here for this customer. Like, we've been bale silage here for a very long time. But I've been here myself working these fields since I was 13. You get dropped up here to wrap bales, 3075, and so what's that? I'm 28 now, so that's 15 years I've been coming up to this field to bale and do all that. And every year, especially in the last couple of years, it's been getting wetter and wetter. Bale numbers have been decreasing, and the customer says, right, we'll just go reseed it. Once you get the bale numbers back up, and we said, right, we're going to flat lift it. We're not going to plough it because it's just, don't think it needs ploughing, but we'll do the flat lift and we'll disc it and power harrow. We'll get fresh grass in it for them. But the flat lift should take the compaction. The compaction is the biggest end of why the field has been getting wetter and wetter every year. The top end of the hill, the brow going down then towards the road, the middle isn't too bad, the far end of the field is wet. We put shores in this in the land here 7 or 8 years ago, a good while ago. That made a big difference to it. But the last while, it's been just getting really tricky. Last year was particularly hard on the second cut. It was very wet. And hopefully, I know from using the flat lift from back when we were using it a lot, this will ground this crown. It'll take what it's doing now is the legs that's on it are in underneath the ground, and it's breaking up that pan, breaking up 15 inches in depth of the soil, which is kind of compacted and panned together, which isn't letting the water and moisture go down through that to soak away. And by breaking it up, we're going to allow all the moisture that's been retained in the top layer to be getting away, which should help keep the ground drier. You can see it from here, but I don't know whether you can see. So the rams are gone in this back window, but it's rising it about 4. It's rising the lie of the land about 4 inches, and then the roller in the back is just kind of just tidying it back behind us, just not leaving it in clumps. And you can see the ram on that then is for pulling it in so you're nice and tidy for road, and then letting it back out to give it space to pull up the land, and then just kind of firm it back down a bit. And then that controls our depth. So I have it let right down as the machine is set. I can change it more. There's top links on both sides of the rams, and I could screw it up another bit and let her right down to the full 18, but we'll do it at 15 inches. There's no pipes or anything that I know of out here, so we'll get a good lift on it now. How dry the ground is, but you can see the way it's lifting. It's lifting kind of stuck together of itself and coming up in clumps. Just, yeah, I think this is ground now. Plan for this now, we're going to do this today, and then we're going to give it a day or two just to kind of let the air in and let it dry out in underneath what we're after opening. And then we'll come in, we'll disc it, we'll power harrow it in with the grass seed, roll it, and job will be good. The reason we're not going straight in with the disc on that is why just get the air in, get it to dry, and get it so that we're not coming straight in back on it and then just pushing it all back down on top of itself again. If it dries and kind of crumbles and cracks inside another bit, that'll just help maintain the job we're after doing. So, yeah, should make a right job. So the shores that's in it, the plan is to just pull them through the shores. I don't think it should cause us any issue, and it'll help open up the land into the shores to help get rid of water from that kind of underneath surface. It's going to take a couple of hours, but we'll do some nice shots. We'll film a bit from outside and whatnot, and job should be a good. The second pass, well, go up the second pass now. We're trying to run it that hits an equal distance from the last run to the next one, just to lift it. And she's just lifted lovely there now. Nice bit of a pull going up the hill, not too bad. We're wide now, let's see. If anyone is wondering would you do this on silage ground, or we've done it on grazing ground. Grazing ground, you're fine. You wouldn't mind too much about having that little bit of a, where you have that bit of clay turns over that with the lifting of the ground. But if you're going into a bit of silage ground now, you'd want to do it straight after you cut it, straight away. And then when you go to cut it then the next time, you either want to turn up the mowers a bit or leave it over the winter, just to let them bits of clay that have been filled and get the hull kind of to fill in again with grass. But it's not too bad. So it's not, we've done it before, but you have to kind of go at it from a different way. Grazing ground, you do it whenever, it makes not much of a difference. Silage ground, you just have to, if you do it at the right times, or them bits of clay that you be turning up there while you're doing it, and there's no way of not really doing it. That's just how she works. And if you had an unfortunate running into a lot of trees and that, you could leave a bit of ground very, very untidy, or if it was quite a stony bit of ground, you could leave it very untidy. Thankfully so far it seems to be very, very, very little stones in this. There's a bit of tight ground there now, just pull it up the hill. That's the bit, she's even taken it out of the ground now. That's how tight it is. So no, it'll be interesting now next year when the crop of grass will go to work it. Oh, we're tipping away here nicely. Just thought I'd show you. You can barely see the last 2-3 runs I've done there. Do out here yet. We're just slicing away here. This is the far end of the field where it's a bit stickier now, so just kind of have to lift and let it in just to kind of get my way through it. So to work the depth totally off the back roller. So we just drive her in towards the hedge now. Now, when we come to lift it, rather than lifting it on the draft to take the pressure off trying to lift all the legs out of the ground, you lift it with the ram on the roller, then lift up the draft. So it just takes the pressure trying to pull the legs up, and then set her back, and then we go for run number, how many runs now I've done? Still a long way to go. There'll be a lot of short ground. Don't go backwards when this is in the ground or on the ground, because you'll take the shins or the toes off it. That's the biggest end of it. So we'll have a headland run possibly to do there. It depends on just what way the sticks start showing. Then we just drop her down and then we go forward. And she bites it. And if we need to adjust it, we adjust it on that just to keep the track moving. It's all about keeping her moving. How will do any leveling from any bits of holes that we may need. Just said I'd bring you out and show you. We're just stopped in full working depth mode. The top 18 inches is there, that's max working depth. We're working at 15 inches. This in the ground, cut it so that it spreads, and if it gets tidy, it goes back pretty nice. And then you can see we can get low enough to the lie of the land. Maybe you can't really tell, but you should be able to tell that it is lifting it good 4 inches going back the way. If we go down this way, that's one of the reasons why I stopped, because I pulled a lump of a sod off. Also caught a big stone just on the brow. This brow here does be quite soft, it can be hard to get up with sometimes. We'll show you what we're looking at here, just to give you an idea here. Like, just look, it is just absolutely stuck together. So it is absolutely stuck. Should be able to see if your top layer, and you can see the roots go down so far, and then you have a pan here which is just underneath that. You look at the way you can pull that, just keep peeling that back off it. Like it's a separate layer. That's as far as the roots go down to there. And that's where the pan is. We're trying to break down past that into the pan and lift all that up and let the air into it. The disc harrow will chew up that top couple of inches. It'll probably chew up a nice wee bit of that pan, The power harrow then will mince it all up again. But the big thing is, we've got down, like I should be able to dig this out. Dig it out and I'll show you then. Just digging down there now. That's my working depth. So it's about the length of my elbow, from the top of my finger to my elbow. So what's that? It's more than 2 foot anyways, or a good 2 foot anyways. But you can see how loose the soil is down here. You know, just do it with my fingers. Like it's loose. The soil down there is loose. But then you have, before you get to it, you have this stuff, which is just compacted. So that is the purpose of the subsoiler, to help break that up, let the air in, and then let the water down, and to remove that compaction. That is as good a spot as I could show you exactly how it works. This car and the chewing up at the ground then will help break up some just underneath that top like inch or inch and a half that the grass is on. Chew up that bit underneath it, help reduce it another bit, lighten up the whole ground. And also 64A, touch all the wood around it is working the dreams. It's got to the point now where we're nearly all saying, oh, we'll bring the 64A. For a very long time it was you do anything to avoid taking it. But currently, you're like, oh, I'll take this tractor, she's flying it. No EirCodes, everything is working. Yes, but touch all the wood around us. Took a long time to get back this way. Finally getting close to the fire hedge behind me. Doing our 6 runs in it. So at long last, it's a slow enough job, this job. The biggest end of why it's so slow is because we're working at such a depth, like you're well below what a plough would work at, and you're always clipping down stone, hit a big stone as to give the machine a chance that if it hits it, for everything to kind of move around it. The harder you go, you're hitting a lot of big stones, the more damage you're more likely to do. So the slower you go, the better chance of that. Bounce across a couple of big ones every now and again. You'll see the hydraulic ram on the accumulator give and let the leg up and go back in. So this is kind of the operating speed. It works out the same cost as ploughing, so it's the same price we charge per acre. But the advantages of this over ploughing, that's what I want to cover. So both machines do more or less the same job, help reduce the compaction in the ground. For this machine you can work at a greater depth, and then the other thing is you're not turning down your topsoil. So with the plough you'll turn over the topsoil you've been growing on and put the undersoil on top, and you can see a little reduction in the fertility of the soil for a short time. I've often seen on tillage ground that we started to take our land we rented and we started to plough. The first couple of year or two wouldn't be over hectic, you kind of build up the fertility in that soil that you were pulling up with the plough. Whereas this machine doesn't mix the soils, so you can get away. You get the same benefit without that problem. And then the depth is the big one. You just get such a greater depth of a job that you just break up in your area more of the soil. The only downside is it's quite a bit slower to do. Because as well, you can go in and do grazing ground. Yeah, you can do grazing ground with minimal kind of damage to your grassland or that. But to go in and do silage ground, you really gotta be mindful of what you're doing to not create too much scarring on the ground, so that you can actually go back and mow it without gathering lots of clay or hitting lumps of clay and stuff as you do it. It's a bit of a fine art now, to do it that way, and it can go against you. The other advantage too is you get the benefits of ploughing with this job, especially for the likes of people who are in derogation or over whatever the limits are in the organic nitrogen production on the farm. You can no longer plough after at least the 1st of May. So if you're doing some reseeding later on in the year or after silage or that, you can go in with a machine like this, you get the benefits of ploughing, and you're not breaking any of the rules. Also then for reducing compaction and headlands and stuff, super machine. That's really it. We've been out 4 times with this year, so we're having a lot done. I think we've one more out with it later on for another customer reseeding. Which I have one customer who done it for this year, was because of the derogation rules. He wanted this machine before reseeding because he wanted to reduce compaction, and he usually would plough, but now this machine ticks the box. Anyways, if anyone is interested in getting subsoiler in Longford, Roscommon or Westmeath, give me a shout. You can DM me or whatever, you'll get me on any of the socials. Way of getting me. Anyways, look, we're going to finish this off. You can see yourself there. We're coming in the end. Just have to be mindful of trees now. That's the biggest one. What I'm finding now is this side of the field would always be, you consider it dry enough, but the very top where it was wet and in next to hedge, no roots. There was no roots. Whereas along here, which has always been dry up this side, I'm hitting roots. So it's the only thing I'd say now is a little bit funny, but we're nearly there. I have a couple of run or two to do the other side just to bring it up tighter to the hedge. But after that, I think we will be fine. And very, very few storms. Very, very few. So a couple along a bit of a brow here, and after that it's kind of hit and miss across. Get this finished up. And now that is us done. Don't mind the tree roots there. Just trying to pull a couple of spots there that were along the hedge where we'd always kind of left tracks, and still got on a few tree roots, but not too bad. But that's it done there now. Happy days. Happy days. It is done. It's only taken me 3.5 hours at least, anyways. So yeah, it's a slow job. I won't be back to do any more with this, I don't think. I'll be going on after get mulching done for the next round of reseeding, because we have 60ish acres on the books for reseeding at the minute, and we have to get the corn cut, and we have slurry to go out, but we've kind of pushed the slurry into next week. Kind of leave it there. If it starts to rain, we can't come by, we'll go at that. But with the reseeding, it's one of us gets a bit done, and then someone else goes the next day, gets another round of it done, or two of us go just to try and keep the combine moving, keep one there to draw away, and then every other day have two there, one to bale and one to draw. And we get done. It's just shocking early for the combine in this year. But anyways, that's the crack. So I don't know, there's probably nothing more to show. Scrap gone in the video. We subsoiled, show you how it works. If anyone's interested, give me a shout. And look, I think I'm going to leave it at that, because I know I'll not be back to see the finished out job here, but we will get to see it next year for first cut, see how the thing is looking, and see how wet or dry it is. It will be dry. It just, the level of compaction there is quite severe. So anyways, look, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Any questions, as always, leave them in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Wednesday and Sunday. That's it for me. Good night.